All right, y'all, this is the last page with D. Moss sitting here with CEO Self and Juice. The dynamic husband-wife combination, they are transforming the entertainment industry.
Yep.
One session at a time.
That's right. That was good.
Welcome to the show.
That was good to say that.
That is.
One session at a time.
Yeah.
Praise them.
Yeah.
I'm Juice, owner of CEO Self Inc.
And I'm Self, the other half, co-owner of CEO Self Inc. But we're mindset and career coaches for music entrepreneurs, also music publishers and music executives ourselves.
That's right.
All right, so we started Reign Forever Music Publishing in 2008. That publishing company is the reason why we became Grammy nominated and award winning. But we've been in the record business. Well, I've been in the record business professionally since 1999. We built this business together from 2005 all the way out until now. Kind of just morphed into a bunch of different things. Morphed in from a publishing company, a record company, and then now we're here coaching and helping people with their mindset development and career guidance. So,
Giving them all the information that we've learned through all the different levels of artist management, booking agent, all the hats that we worn. We're giving all that information out.
Right. So the whole journey that we went through, we are now teaching and developing people to do things more mindfully and more healthy so that they can sustain a real career without being under the pressure of what industry quote say they should be under.
Yeah.
Yes, right now we deal with independent artists, and independent artist is defined by an artist that is not supported by a corporate label, a corporate brand. So some independent artists are financially stable but just don't know what it means to be independent and operate music business, and some independent artists are in partnerships with corporate labels. So we focus more so on the independent artists that are financially stable but just don't know what it means to really develop in career and in the business of music. Independence is real. Like, independence is when you have to bootstrap your career, right? But I think a lot of people who understand what independence is, they assume that they can bypass the common train tracks that companies need to have, and that's what we help them with. We help them to understand what it actually means to do business as a music entrepreneur. Anybody can start a business, anybody can get an LLC, anybody can get their EIN and whatever, but there's a different mindset when you have to do music business independently, and some T's still have to be crossed and some I's still have to be dotted, and that's what we teach. We teach that by first focusing on mindset, which is clarifying, basically getting you to a place where you understand that.
So before we get to mindset, I know mindset is like really important for you guys. I know sitting in on a couple of y'all sessions, the behind closed doors joints that you do, you always talk about mindset.
I would say being able to own your own future. So when you make the decision to be independent on your own, you're saying, I'm going to do things on my own time, in my own way. I don't have any overhead saying, hey, you got to do it this way. You have to dress this way. You have to sing these kinds of songs. You have to go to these kinds of places. When you're truly independent, you get to pick and choose the kind of artist that you want to be. You get to pick and choose how you want the public to see you. You get to pick and choose everything about your career. So that's one of the pros. The cons, obviously, you also have to pick and choose how much of your own money you have to spend to become a great artist that is really dropping albums and dropping songs versus uploading songs and hoping to go viral or hoping that a label will hear it. I think those are the cons. I would say you're using your own money.
I think when professionally, the biggest difference is making sure is when you're independent, you are independent. You are bootstrapping. You are your own entity. You have to figure it out, and you have to do it all yourself. So what we like to say all the time is in corporate music business, they have departments for every element that you are independently having to work in. You see what I'm saying? So what that means is you have to wear all the hats, and some hats you can't avoid, right? And some hats, but the beauty, the pro, like Juice was saying, the pro is that you get to take your time to develop each hat. You don't have to put it all out right away. You see what I'm saying? And you get to take your time to really chart your course so you can do it independently. It just means it may take you 2 years to drop your first project versus, when you're doing it the right way versus, being a part of a corporate record label where they have all these departments and they can set a deadline, right? I think another difference is when you're signed to a corporate label, you're given, you have the opportunity to meet a deadline. When you're independent, you don't necessarily have you don't have that restraints of meeting deadlines, essentially. Like, so you have a situation where you can take your time and roll out your project yourself. So for some, being independent is great. For some, they need to be signed because they don't want to bootstrap. They don't want to do this, that, and the third. So.
Okay. So, talk about mindset.
There's so many levels to mindset because mindset in general is perspective. Knowing like, hey, this is what I signed up for, and things might be hard, but also knowing that you can do hard things. Like, that's basically mindset. Mindset is saying I can't just sit and hope that something great happens. I actually have to go out and make something great happen, and you are capable of making something great happen. Mindset is saying I'm already this person that I think I am, or that I want to be, or that I see myself becoming, and I'm just going to live my life out as if I'm already that person. It's different from being delusional. Like, if you're not good at a thing and you keep telling yourself that you're good at a thing without actually working to become good at a thing, you're never going to be good at a thing, right? So there's no amounts of manifestation or thinking your way to greatness if you're not actually good at being an artist. Like, if you're trash, you're
trash.
You're trash. But you can
get better.
You can get better,
right. And that's the key. I think that, like, if you're trash, but you can get better. Like,
but it's also knowing, hey, I can't sing, right? Like, I know my strengths and my weaknesses. Mm-hmm. Singing is not one of them, right? I can sing in a choir, I can hold down tenor, I got you. But to be an artist, I don't have that yet.
Well, so yes, that makes sense. And but part of mindset is also understanding that whatever you want, if you train and you mindfully head in that direction, you can become whatever you want to be. Mm-hmm. And that takes you making your mind up. So we say this thing, mindset first, career second. Yeah, if you're saying you're a singer and you're not nice, you might not be nice. But at the end of the day, guess what happens? If you made your mind up, you're going to take all the right courses, you're going to spend the money to get with the right vocal coach, they're going to teach you how to breathe, and you're going to find out that if you do try to sing, you might sound different, but it may work. You see what I'm saying? And it may work for you, but that's all mindset. That's just you making your mind up. But I think the biggest thing me and Juice preach is make sure your mind is made up, for one. And if your mind is made up and this is what you want and want to achieve in life, then there is no stopping you. You know what I mean? And you will shift and you will become everything you need to be. Just make your mind up.
So if I'm an artist and I'm like, well, I'm determined to do this, I know I can do this, I have minimal talent, but she's super soulful. So it's mindset, correct?
Yeah, because
Belief in
I mean,
yourself.
you're right. Drake would get murder an R&B record. He will murder it, and he can't sing. Like, he's definitely not a Luther, right?
He's not a Tank. Tank is same
he's
drink.
not a Tank, right?
Tank is same
he's
drink
not a
under the
Tyrese,
bleacher. Or
you know?
Tyrese.
He's not a Chris Brown, but he's Drake. And what he did was he takes his area of music and he owns it. I'm certain he knows he can't. He's not gonna go toe to toe with.
Yeah, we know. He know that.
With
Say Drake.
like we know he ain't. So yeah, he owns where he's at, and I'm certain, you know, there's things that you can do as an artist, like you get up, you work out so you can breathe.
Kendrick Lamar at the Super Bowl. Have you heard the acapella version of what he did?
Man, listen, I can't even walk up the stairs.
His control is out of this world, and he was
Yeah.
dancing and moving and going from one side of the field to the other. And
he's a rapper.
Okay.
But he takes his craft seriously.
So mindset.
He made that decision. Like, I'm going to. Kendrick Lamar is going to be
the greatest,
and he works hard to make sure he is the greatest
working
at what
in
he
that
does.
direction. So you could be mediocre at rapping. You could be a not nobody. But if you make your mind up, something in you is going to make you want to train to be the best. If you are saying you're a rapper and you so-called made your mind up, but you don't train to be the best, then you're lying to yourself.
Yeah, if you're a rapper, you don't know more words in the dictionary than the average Joe. Are you really trying to be the best? If you're a singer and you can't hold your breath for 30 seconds, are you really training to be the best? If you're not waking up, you're not on a treadmill and singing at the same time. I mean, I'm not a singer, but when I'm on the track, I'm still singing as I walk.
Juice keeps saying she's not a singer, but yet she's saying she can hold down tenor. My point is, she knows her role and her place in singing. And if she wants to be good at it, she will 100% be the best. Because if you call me up and tell someone to sing the bottom, she will sing that bottom.
But that has a lot to do with my upbringing.
When I met Juice, man, I would see them in the kitchen, and her grandmother, rest in peace, I love this woman, would be like, they make everybody harmonize while they're making food. And it was the most pleasant thing I've ever heard.
And you better not miss your note, because you better go in that dining room and clean that chandelier if you messed up.
Yeah. Classic stuff right there, man.
Messing up the song.
So you bring all that into the coaching room with you when you guys are dealing with clients, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Like, I think the main point for me is learning how to control the room, right? That was like one of the biggest things that we learned growing up in church. If you can't run the service by reading the room, what are you doing? You know, we used to get in trouble for that. You better learn from
and make a statement of who you are. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you'll walk into a room and the energy's off, but when you leave, it needs to feel like something shifted. And that's the key. That's how you know that you're blessed and have the gift of influence, when you can walk in the room and leave your presence there when you leave. And people just like, wow.
Explain that for me.
Like, you're a room shifter. Like,
but what does that mean? I mean, I hear the words, but I'm trying to envision it. Like, okay, I walk into a room.
If we walk into a room and there's 100 people in there and people don't feel your character, your presence, your authority, your confidence in yourself, then you're still working on something. But if you can walk in a room and leave your presence there, that's what separates you from an artist, a motivational speaker, someone that can that's the influence all over you. Some people are very they don't tend to walk into the room to shift the room. They just want to be on the behind the scenes, and they have their place. But if you're saying you're a superstar and you're on the road to be an artist and you're an independent artist, you're supposed to be a room shifter. You're supposed to walk in that room and demand the presence. They should know that you are here. And when you leave, they should know that you was there. And that
comes with confidence and making the decision on who you are and why you were put on this
knowing
this planet.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother was that way. She walked into a room and
the room stopped.
Well, Judy's here.
Stopped.
And she leave and it'd be like, oh man,
that lady with the white hair,
it's not fun anymore.
She's dope. So
yeah.
So how do you teach that? You guys are coach. I mean, you guys coach artists.
I told you that.
All right. I don't want to hear your whole formula, but is it possible to coach someone to the point where they can learn to walk into a room and just be that person?
Yes, if they made that decision to want to be that person. Okay. You know what I mean? Like
mindset first.
Yeah, but you can't pull it out if it's not there. Some people they're never going to be confident in themselves. So
what do you tell a client? They really want to be an artist, but they just can't find the confidence, or they can't find, that light that kind of like, emanates from someone when things begin to click for them. After 6 months to a year, do you keep that client on, or do you have that conversation?
Mindset shifting is forever. Like, if they can look, if you got the budget to keep us in your life until it clicks for you, we're gonna stay by your side until it clicks for you. You see what I'm saying? Because it's a journey in itself. We got a young lady who joined one of our programs, and she's the most shyest, the most bashful person on the planet. But she keeps showing up at little events here and there. So what that says to us is she wants to shift. She wants it. She's just waiting. Something's going to click in her mind where it happens, and she says, I got to do it. And when that happens, then she'll join the Crash, which is a mindset community that we developed here in Metro Atlanta. But she'll join the Crash, and we get to nurture her monthly on how to be confident.
Because sometimes you can't see the greatness in you, right? It takes other people.
Sometimes it takes a community to see it and reassure you every second that you are who you said you are,
Okay. So with all that being said, what exactly is a Crash?
It's an online community. We do a lot of in-person events too, but it's an online community where we teach how to reshape your thinking, how to change your perspective, how to look at your current life differently, so that you can become this amazing artist, right? So in the Crash, we also give our members one-on-ones. The one-on-ones is where the real magic happens, because we get to learn each individual personally and pull out the things that need to go and put in the things that they need to have.
Yeah.
With that, right, comes learning how to be a label owner. Because if you're an independent artist, you're essentially your own label, right? You're moving yourself. You are the product, but you're also the label. So you have to know your PROs. You have to know how to register your song. You have to know freaking that doggone distro kid is not responsible for your metadata and your copyrights, children. Such a pet peeve of mine. Okay. But these are things that we teach you. How do you have a marketing plan? How you set up your metadata? What is your metadata? Like, these are things that we teach within the Crash.
We don't. Excuse me, but we don't advertise none of the business side of the Crash. We always say that the Crash in the beginning, when someone asks us about it, for the most part, we just say it's a mindset development community. Because we know that if you're attracted to that statement, mindset development community, then once you become a member, all this other stuff falls in your lap. You see what I'm saying? And we know we have a person that's looking to shift their mindset in this industry that we are in. And a lot of times, people aren't ready to shift their mindset. So a lot of times, people don't know if they don't even understand what it means to shift their mindset in pursuing career in music. Like, they just want to be superstars. And sometimes superstars will get their wish, but they crash out and they lose their mind after they got it. And that's what we pray for. That's what we pray to prevent every time we come across another person.
It's like, if I only hear mindset development and I don't know about all the other functional components that you have.
But it's supposed to weed you out.
Okay.
It's supposed to weed you out because the person that says, man, I'm struggling and I'm going through something and I need that first is the person that gets into the community. It's meant to weed out the questionable, what else can I get? Because what happens, because we also do another service that we offer is deep dives. And the deep dives are advertised for people who want to just talk about music business.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And that particular service is geared to say, hey, you need coaching, you need consultation, you want to figure out where you need to go in your music business. That's a whole another business. But when it comes to the crash, we want the person that's thinking about mental health first. Yeah. But the crash is a cultural mindset development community where people become family. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And in that particular community, everyone that's there, yeah, they happen to be creatives, but what we did was make mindset the priority, and the byproduct of that community is that they get better at being in business. You see what I'm saying? So if you come into our ecosystem focus and you hear us talk about mindset and that intrigues you and you want to know more and you want to get involved, you come in, we're going to love you first. And the byproduct of that is we're going to be hard on you to be great business people. Mm. But if you come in and just want a finite coaching like a coaching session, then all we're talking about is what you feel is important to you. And that service is called deep dives. You see what I'm saying? And we don't care much more other than what you say you want to talk about at that time. You see what I'm saying? But
I think the problem with, it's not really a problem, it's the difference. Mm-hmm. The difference between the ones that just get the deep dives are they'll get all this information and don't know what to do with it after that. You know what I mean? That's like the only thing, because they won't come back, right? They'll just take this information and attempt to do whatever.
So they put the independence in independence, not realizing you need strong social supports and wrapped around what you do.
That's right.
Okay.
And in our deep dive,
it's a lot of information, right? You get so much information in a deep dive. Now, if you have already gone through this life of being an artist and you're at a stage where it's like, I've tried everything, I'm just so tired. I think now I can do it because I'm more financially stable. I just need to make sure I have all my ducks in a row. Mm. That would be a great deep dive, right? Mm-hmm. Because you've probably already done all the root work. But we get people who say, well, I just need to be in a room with A&Rs, or I just need to be in a room with somebody from
Epic.
Anywhere.
Atlantic.
That's all I need, right? I don't need to know about my metadata, or I don't need to know why my perspective needs to change. Okay, well, we can talk about whatever it is you want to talk about, but you're not really going to be a good person for me to coach because you don't get it.
Yeah, and we don't just take everybody in. Like, okay. We really choose who's a good fit for us. Like, some people need to be in the crash. Some people need to just be on a finite deep dive. Yeah. And so with those two, and at the end of every deep dive, we do offer those people to join the crash for ongoing accountability. You see what I'm saying? But whether they do or not, that just, for us, we learn the type of mindset people have by the choice of service that they choose to come through and get involved in our ecosystem.
Okay. It's almost like, purchasing a therapist to walk through your music journey or your whatever your art, your craft is, right. To walk through that journey with you. Am I right or wrong?
Kind of, yeah.
The crash is that.
I mean,
okay, that's what I'm saying, the crash for that particular component.
I'm real big, though, on not babying anyone.
For sure.
Like, you don't get babied. You don't get, like, I'm not going to be like, oh, my God, it's okay. Cry it out. Heck no. Like, the minute you start crying because it's hard is the minute I'm now harder on you because this is what you signed up for.
Yeah, and Juice is way more tougher than me. Nah. Like, I love you, and I just want to hug you and let you know that guess what, baby? you can make it. Here's some oatmeal. Here's some steak if you're ready for it. Here, Juice is like, you can't chew that fool.
Can't chew it. After the tears, I mean, we all cry, honey. I would cry every day, okay? After the tears, now let's get up and let's get to work.
It's a grueling business.
It's a
Which
grueling
means
business.
you actually being, I mean, that tough love is absolutely necessary because some people begin to feel entitled.
Right.
And they want to be protected at all times. And you need to understand that this is the industry you want to be in. Just know that, you know, you're swimming with piranha, sharks,
Jellyfish,
barracuda, jellyfish.
pretty as they are, they will kill you.
They will
Right.
kill you. And the wild thing too that is, you see, all my counterparts, all my colleagues in corporate music business, they know me as the jerk.
Well,
They know me as the person that's more, you know, like that, like how you just described. But to my community, I'm not that.
No,
I
he's
love
the
you.
soft one.
I'm the soft one. I'm like, I want you to know this, that, and the third. Now, a lot of this could change too with Juice talking all this stuff too. I want everyone to know that because Juice is about to transition into management. Okay, when we roll out our my first project, and she's gonna have to have firsthand dealings with a lot of these people that just are transactional.
Yeah, but why would that change for me? That's not gonna. I know who I am.
So it's like for a lot of legit indie artists, or you have the open mic performers who want to become professional artists.
Yeah.
So go on through this journey. If people wonder, like, well, why would I need coaching? So, but what you really need is someone to help you to transition to that next level, and that's where you guys come in.
Yep.
That's right.
Because you don't need anybody to. I mean, you do, but you don't. You don't need anyone to say, "Hey, I can get you put on the radio." Right? That's where we're like, "Hey, you're an independent artist. You can get yourself on the radio."
But you do need your own team.
Yes, you need the
That's
radio.
what you need. You don't need no one to put you on the radio. You need the resource and know-how to get on the radio and your own team to work the radio. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's the difference. A lot of people want to pay somebody to just get some type of overnight success and then they get raped. You know, I mean, they get manhandled that way. And that's where the issue comes in.
And then they're crying, "Oh,
Then they crying, I paid $40,000, $50,000, $60,000
and
to
I
do
still
this.
got to go to work on Monday."
Yes.
Well,
you could.
duh.
Of
Yes.
course.
I use my mortgage money.
Right.
My
And
phone-
you
Right.
thought, you thought something.
So you guys are teaching them how to go through the process. You're there for them. You're gonna walk them through the steps, make sure that they're emotionally stable as they do this. Make sure they have the supports that they need, so they don't deep dive on the,
so they
on the
don't,
real end.
So they don't start self-medicating, right? So you don't get
Right.
high. You don't start. Oh man, you go from smoking 2 blunts to now you smoking 10.
So you're giving people. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just throwing it out there. An understanding of who they should be dealing with, the type of people they should be dealing with, and why they would even want to deal with certain people.
Yeah, absolutely. We just did a coaching call today, for example, and one of our crash members were about to spend almost, $1,900 to execute something that should cost her $150. And thank God she did it. She scheduled her one-on-one today, and we were able to stop her before she spent that money and helped her allocate that $1,900 in a more productive way, which would give her more of a return on her dollar. You see what I'm saying? See, the key is not about trying to especially in Metro Atlanta, in any community,
any major metropolitan area, you're gonna deal with it.
You're gonna deal with it, and then if you're coming from a C market or a D market, and those markets are markets that is hard to get into a metropolis or a music metropolis like a Nashville, New York, LA, and Atlanta, or even Memphis is that now too. But when it's hard for you to get there, and when you get there, all your dreams and your big vision and this, that, and third, there's a bunch of people out there that's gonna say, "I can do this for you, but it's gonna cost you this." And then that culture is what we break down. Okay, that culture.
They'll use their name.
They'll use their name, their accolades, their money. They'll use all these accolades. One thing me and Juice pride ourselves on, we don't mention a lot of nothing about what we've achieved over the years independently. But the cool thing about that is when people come into our ecosystem, they now become aware of the things we achieved, and it blows their mind. Why? Because we didn't use it to get you here. We just waited for you to get to a mindset of I want change. And when you got here, we were able to show you some great things.
Now, we've been talking for a minute now, and you guys haven't name dropped at all.
No.
Well, I did name drop Judy. It's my grandma.
But that's your grandma. It's a little different. It sounds like your role model and coach.
I did name drop
Judy. Hey, she is somebody. She was somebody.
Mm-hmm. So we talked about the crash. We talked about the deep dive a little bit. What's this behind closed doors about?
What we ended up doing was creating the opportunity for people to get to know us. And Juice always said, what's the best way to do it? We always talk transparency, so we do this open mic, this info session, the showcase right in our own home, and we call it Behind Closed Doors. And then we teach you guys what it will be like working with us right here in the house. So when people leave, they can sign up to join the crash, or they can sign up for a deep dive, or they can even join our new program called Film Academy. Whatever their budget allows them to do, they can do it right here at the house and just really know who we are.
Yep.
Full transparency.
Okay. So deep dive, behind closed doors, the crash. What else?
Film Academy.
What exactly is Film Academy?
Okay.
So Film Academy is a 3-month coaching program. It's our top tier coaching program. The program allows people to go from concept, or hope, and literally in 15 weeks be an established imprint. Right? Like everything's set up. We walk you through, we teach you how to be the publisher, we teach you how to be the record label, we teach you how to be a management company, we teach you how to find and sign other people. We do all this stuff, and all the third-party fees that are required for that setup is also included in the price. So when you pay this price, this monthly price, which is recurring for 3 months, all those fees is there. The reason why we do that is because we don't want you procrastinating. So if you sign up for Film Academy and you get involved and you say you want to be a label owner, and you say you want to be an independent artist, and you want to make some money, and you want to build this thing out just no different than a Chance the Rapper or a La Russell or whatever the case may be, you're going to want to make sure... Or Jay-Z. Because a lot of people don't realize Rock Nation is an independent label. It's a corporate independent label that does partnerships with these other labels. You see what I'm saying? But it's still an independent label, technically.
They just learned how to maximize their relationships and their
network. That's it. And that's what you can do. You see what I'm saying? And that's what we teach. Film Academy, when you sign up for Film Academy, you walk away an imprint. You walk away a publishing imprint. You walk away a management imprint. And you walk away knowing how to be in business in that imprint. So that's what Film Academy. And we do that in 3 months. 3 months, 15 weeks. And we do not stop. It's like full steam ahead. That's why all the third-party fees are included in it.
Okay.
We're excited about that. So you can't even slow it down if you wanted to. Because that's what, if you paying monthly for 3 months, it's
go time.
It's go time.
Okay.
That's all it is. You know what I mean? So make sure y'all follow us at CEO Self Coaching on all platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And if you need any services, go to www.ceoselfcoaching.com. And if you need proof, go ask Uncle Google and check our reviews. Okay. All right?
There is one more thing before we close this off. The counseling portion of what you do. You had a partner who had a tragic ending. Did you want to talk about that or not?
So CEO Self Coaching started. Well, part of CEO Self Coaching was conceived because one of our business partners, we had the studio downtown Atlanta, and this business partner unalived himself, and we didn't know that he was going through this trauma that he was going through. And one day I went and we had a meeting. And as I was leaving the meeting, an engineer called me back, and our business partner unalived himself in the facility that we physically built. So after that, me and Juice was on some more like, yo, how the heck were we that close to a person and been around this person every day, developed some great young artists with this person, moved this person from his house to the building, like. How were we that close and did not know that person was suffering? And from that point on, we made a decision. We call it God's timing, right? Because at the end of the day, that was the sign that we needed to start taking care of the people like us. So we made a conscious decision not to pursue music publishing on that as extreme as we was, and started focusing on the human business of music business, which is taking care of people like us. So,
thank you.
For sure. Oh, and also we are CARES registered, okay? Which means we can be peer support. So if you're struggling with any substance or mind-altering diseases and you need help and support in your recovery, feel free to look us up. We are here, and we also do that as well.
Yep.
All right. Any closing remarks, anything?
Peace, love, and chicken grease.
All right, y'all. This is the last page with D Moss, and we out. Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.